Welcome everybody out there. Football predictions. We're back.
Glad to be back.
Special Valentine's Day edition.
Happy Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's Day. Like, what the hell is going on? And all these players, like Liverpool was an absolute. Let's not get crazy. We're a 3-team teaser.
Special Valentine's Day edition.
Absolutely. Yep, so we're making this video just for everybody out there. Let's do it. Talking about Premier League recap from the past weekend. First of all, our picks.
Our picks.
I thought that they were outstanding. Fulham over Forest, nailed.
Nailed it.
Brentford, Arsenal, you went for a draw.
A draw.
Nailed it. We even picked the Ivan Toney goal and he got it for the 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I did think Arsenal were going to win it, but you with that draw with the Toney goal was bang on. That was awesome. The Man City and Villa, nailed that as well. That was an easy one though. Of course, Man City were going to win that. They destroyed Villa, easy one, but we still got it.
We still got it.
The one to talk about though, to start the recap, let's just say this, it was a disaster for VAR over the weekend.
Oh, VAR.
Disaster. And nothing was worse than Chelsea-West Ham. We went for a Chelsea win. They clearly should have won the game, or at least had a penalty to try to win the game in the 90th minute, which I'm sure they would have scored. They were denied that penalty by a clear handball, which should have been a red card as well.
It should be a straight penalty and a straight red card with no hesitation.
Oh, absolutely. It was Thomas Souček went straight to ground, stuck his hand out. I mean, the ball was going on target. He might have even stopped a goal. It possibly could have been a goal. That's how blatant it was, because it was on target. And the referee said, play on. VAR said, no penalty, no red card. That's it. The game finished 1-1. I guess if we look at it from the vantage point of a full game, 1-1 was maybe a fair result. West Ham played okay. Chelsea were just so-so, but a clear penalty nonetheless.
It is a clear penalty. I mean, he looks like a second keeper.
A second guy, no, a second goalkeeper, absolutely. So that was the first big one that VAR got wrong. Sadly, that messed up our 3-team teaser, which is so disappointing. The other one, well, there were a couple. One of the other big ones was in the Brighton Palace game, which we were talking about on our last video. That's a big derby.
Yep.
I didn't want to touch it because anything can happen. And sure enough, the game finishes a 1-1 draw. But Brighton were denied a clear goal in that game. They actually scored the first goal, Brighton did.
Yep, they did.
And VAR said no, offside. But they later found out that the lines were incorrectly drawn because the person using the VAR didn't properly see the players. There was a player on the pitch that he didn't notice, which how you miss a player on the pitch, I don't know. So they drew the lines incorrectly, and that put the Brighton man offside, and they didn't count the goal, and it finished 1-1, and it was another huge VAR mistake. So those were the two big ones. There was even some controversy with the Toney goal. The Brentford goal, the Toney goal against Arsenal. Arteta wasn't happy about it. He said that there was an offside in the build-up or even a possible foul in the build-up, so the goal shouldn't have counted. That one I'm a bit more on the fence about. For me, if they're not going to give that goal, fair enough, but if they give that goal, I can accept that one. So there was two terrible decisions from VAR, and then one that was so-so, but it's not good enough.
It's not good enough, of course. It's just, things are getting a little weirder.
Yeah, you can't have that kind of stuff going down in the Premier League. You just cannot have it.
It's just hilarious.
But the word hilarious shouldn't be used with the Premier League when you're at that high quality. But it was hilarious.
It was really hilarious. Yep, and you did also mention this, that the referee that does the job as a VAR in the VAR room got what?
Oh, there was a punishment.
A punishment.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to do the VAR for last night's Liverpool-Everton game, which we'll talk about very soon. But he was a ban. He's been banned, I think, for at least a couple matches because that decision in the Palace-Brighton game was so bad.
Super poor.
How do you miss a player and draw the lines incorrectly? I don't know. So yeah, he was banned, and yeah, that gets us into the Liverpool-Everton game.
Liverpool-Everton.
Okay.
You did nail that. You nailed the Liverpool score first.
Score first, yep. That was the side bet. We hit on that one. Liverpool did score the first, which they haven't done very often this season, but last night they got the first goal, which yep, we hit that. Liverpool, for them, it's nice because they desperately needed 3 points. They had not won a Premier League game this year, so their last Premier League game win was December, so they hadn't won a Premier League game in 2023. They desperately needed this one. They got it, but I don't want to read too much into it because for me, this was more about Everton being awful. Than Liverpool being good.
Okay.
Everton looked out of place, disjointed, idealists. They were terrible. Liverpool took advantage of that. Gakpo got his first goal.
Yep.
Salah got a nice goal. So those are positives for Liverpool. Going forward, Jota was back last night. That's a good thing. Nunez was okay, but of course he can't score. Salah was better, like we said. Gakpo was better. But they played in the midfield Fabinho and Henderson. And Fabinho and Henderson, you know how I feel about them. I think they're absolute garbage. But because Everton are so bad, it didn't matter last night.
It is. Well, they do have a chance to score though, but they didn't.
No, they didn't. They do have, of course, the young lad Basetic, who's a superstar. I like him a lot.
You like him?
I like him a lot. So there's one good thing about the Liverpool midfield, but it's still not enough. Their defending, it was okay. Joel Matip was so-so. I still don't like him. Joe Gomez, I don't like at all. He's terrible, but Liverpool were lucky. They play Newcastle this week.
Newcastle?
Yeah, which will be a tough game for them. But we'll talk about that on a later video when we get into the Premier League this weekend's matches. And that pretty much covers the recap of the Premier League pretty well. Man U had a 2-0 win over Leeds United. That was a nice win for them.
Just like what I said.
Just like what you said, by the way. You nailed that. Just like what you said. Got that. So that was a good one for them. Newcastle had a 1-1 with Bournemouth.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah, Newcastle, they're not playing badly right now, but they're also not playing at the level that they were earlier in the season. They've kind of dropped a little bit. But I still think that they have a very, very strong team. Very strong team.
Yeah, but to be fair, the Bournemouth, they buy. Who did they buy this summer?
Oh, yeah, Bournemouth just brought in a couple of new players, actually.
They actually did pretty well.
They did well, yeah, they did
now
well.
Bournemouth is another strong opponent.
Yeah, when you look at like Bournemouth playing okay, Forest are playing okay, it's getting more and more tricky for Everton.
More intense.
Southampton looks completely rudderless. They look terrible. By the way, Southampton did sack their manager, Nathan Jones.
Oh.
Now, he had only been there for 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, because they had Ralf Hoffenhussel.
Oh.
He was there for like 4 years. They sacked him in November. They brought in Nathan Jones. He was from Luton Town in the Championship.
Luton Town.
Yeah, it's a sad story because he actually was going to possibly get Luton Town promoted to the Premier League this season, but he left to come to Southampton, and now he's been sacked. And Luton Town are still doing well, and he has nowhere to go. And it looks like Southampton are talking about bringing in Steven Gerrard. Yeah, who was just sacked from Aston Villa. Like I've said many times, these guys are just recycled over and over. That's it, just recycled.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's it. Well, we'll focus more on the bottom of the Premier League later on. We'll focus on the top of the Premier League later on in another video. What we want to get to is talking about the games this week. That's why we're making this special video for you.
Special Valentine's Day edition.
Special Valentine's Day edition. First of all, the major game in the Premier League. Top of the table, Man City Arsenal, Wednesday night. What do you think?
To be fair, Arsenal, they're in a drop right now.
They're in a drop.
They're falling. I'm not being harsh to Arsenal. All due respect to Arsenal fans, but they just lose to.
They lost to Everton.
They lost to Everton.
That's enough.
They got a 1-1 draw with Brentford.
Yep, 1-1 draw. Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. But I mean, think anything could happen. Arsenal, when they go against big team, it's not just Arsenal, every team, just like Liverpool. Just like when they go against Man City, you remember they didn't play that well, but they go against City, they were they're on fire.
Oh yeah.
Arsenal, they could have a chance to win this game, but
Yep.
I'm sticking with City win with 1-0.
It's at it is at the Emirates in London. Obviously, that'll give Arsenal a bit of an advantage. I have read that most likely Erling Haaland is not going to play in that game. Now, he picked up a small injury in the game against Villa a couple days ago, and Pep took him out at halftime. It's for me, this is one of those situations where I think Pep could be playing some mind games. I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay.
You know, if Pep says he's not going to play, fair enough. I think he will. I think he will. I think he will play. But I also think if he doesn't, Man City still have enough to win this game.
Yep.
And I agree with you. I'm going for a Man City win.
Man City win.
I'm going for a Man City win.
Scores.
I'm going to go for Man City 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. Yep. I'm going to go for 2-1 Man City. I think De Bruyne will have a big game. We're finally starting to see Arsenal really, really miss Jesus. You know, he was injured while he was training with Brazil for the World Cup.
He's long gone.
Which was sad. Yeah, and he hasn't played since the World Cup. So he did so well for Arsenal earlier in the season, Jesus did. And now he's been out since the World Cup, and they definitely miss him a lot. So that's been a big blow for Arsenal. I think that Man City, with their experience, are going to get this game. Now, I also don't think that this game is going to decide the Premier League. There's too many games left. There's too many matches
left.
Yeah, Man City and Arsenal actually still have to play each other one more time after this game. So this game is by no means a title decider. I don't believe that. But I think at this time in this moment, Man City have a bit of an advantage. I'm going to go for them to win.
Yeah. But if Man City win this match, Arsenal, the confidence level
it's going to be shaky.
It's going to
be real shaky.
Shaky.
Absolutely, it is.
Yep. So maybe if they lost to Man City, something tragedy could happen.
Yeah, it's still very. Man, I mean, I believe there's still 16 games left. That's a lot of games. A lot. Hell yes. Because of the World Cup, the season had a big break, so there's more games to be played later in the season. That could have an effect on it, but we both like Man City.
Yeah, we both like Man City. Screw Arsenal.
And we'll recap that game later in the week.
Recap that game.
And we also want to get into Champions League football.
That's why we're bringing this trophy.
The old big ears.
The old big ears.
It's back this week.
It's back.
So let's talk about the games going on this week. First one, the big one, Bayern Munich PSG. First leg. What do you think?
Today
it is.
Well,
it's
guys,
today.
this is my advice.
It's in Paris.
This is my advice. Go on your Valentine's date, okay? You need to watch tonight's game. Probably Mbappe probably won't be playing.
Yeah, it looks like he's not playing.
Then maybe Messi won't be playing as well.
Looks like Messi's not playing.
Messi's not playing.
Yeah.
Neymar could get injured.
Neymar. I just read the news, the big news this morning. So PSG lost to Monaco a few days ago in Ligue 1, and I guess after the match, Neymar got in a big fight in the dressing room with the sporting director, and I guess things got ugly, really ugly. Yup. So PSG are a mess right now, an absolute mess.
So I think tonight's match, I think you should leave it. No, just focus on your Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
It's not gonna be good. And if you're a PSG supporter, if you're Bayern Munich supporter, it could be a total mess.
In football, we never know. I've seen it all, but all signs point to a Bayern Munich win tonight. All signs.
All signs. They don't have Neuer though, but they have.
Yeah, they don't. Actually, after the World Cup finished and the Bundesliga came back, Bayern Munich actually started draw. Like they actually were doing kind of badly, but the Cancelo signing, which we talked about, has really invigorated that team. It was a big impact. Cancelo's been a big impact. And yeah, everything is saying Bayern Munich win tonight.
Bayern Munich.
I'm going for Bayern Munich.
Let's go for scores. Come on.
I'm going to go for 2-0 Bayern Munich.
2-0.
2-0, yeah.
I mean, PSG, they don't have Messi, they don't have Neymar. They were going to score.
Yeah, it looks like no Mbappe.
Mbappe. Hell no, they're not going to score.
No, I don't see it.
So, and I think it's going to be 3-0.
3-0. There we go. All right, so that's it. We're both going for big wins for Bayern Munich tonight.
Big wins.
The game's in Paris, but I still like Munich. Other one tonight, Spurs AC Milan.
Spurs AC Milan.
This game is being played in. I'll have to look, but I think it's in Italy. This game's in. Yeah, you've got to look to confirm, but I'm quite sure it's in Milan. tonight. But actually, I'm not sure about it. It's best we look to find out. But ultimately, it really doesn't matter. I think that this game is going to be.
It's in Milan.
It's in Milan. Okay.
Yeah, it's in Milan.
I'm going to go for a draw tonight in this match. I'm going for a draw. A 0-0 draw.
I mean, Spurs just got destroyed by
Leicester City. They got
Leicester City.
hammered 4-1 over the weekend. They look terrible.
They just got destroyed by
I know.
Leicester City.
Milan aren't having that good of a season, though. AC Milan aren't. But I don't like Spurs to win tonight at all. I don't see a Spurs win on any circumstances. AC Milan might be able to nick it, possibly, but I'm going for a draw.
You're going for a draw?
A draw, yep, I'm going for a draw.
Damn, it's so tough.
It is tough, it is tough.
I mean, AC Milan, they have... You know what? I'm going to go for AC Milan win.
Okay, why not? I mean, Spurs did just beat Man City a couple weeks ago, but they looked so bad against Leicester City over the weekend. I'm sticking with the draw.
I'm sticking with the win.
A win, okay. Tomorrow night?
Scores.
I'm 0-0.
0-0.
I'm going for a 0-0.
I'll go for 1-0. Actually,
1-0.
no, let's do 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
I like it. Okay, brilliant. Next one, tomorrow night's matches, Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund.
Chelsea, where is it held on?
This game is being played in Germany.
Germany?
Yep, Dortmund are hosting this match. What do you think? Chelsea, again, they've been in bad form recently. They haven't been scoring goals. They've been shaky. What do you think about this one?
I mean, Chelsea, they got Mudryk now. You know, in the game in Chelsea against West Ham, he actually did pretty well. You know, he gets the ball, he finds his friend, and then just get past a nice through ball to his friends. But sadly, it was offside.
Yeah, I do know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, Mudryk has been a good signing so far. Absolutely, he has been. I like what I've seen out of him. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of pace. He's going to be a good player. Enzo Fernandez has been a good signing. I saw him, because in the West Ham game, I thought he did pretty well.
He did well.
The problem, I was talking to one of my other friends about this. If you took Chelsea's midfield and Liverpool's attackers, you would probably have the best front seven in Europe.
Yeah, I do agree.
Because Chelsea have nothing up front, and Liverpool's midfield is shocking. Like, if you combine those two teams, you'd have something pretty good.
Yeah.
But sadly, that's not going to happen. I'm going to go for a Borussia Dortmund win over Chelsea.
I would think so. Because, I mean, the tempo in Bundesliga, bloody fast. The tempo of the game, everything. When they do the tackle, they hit it hard. So I think Chelsea could handle it.
I love Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, we do.
I think he's going to have a big night. I'm going to go for a Borussia Dortmund victory. Let's say 2-1. 2-1 Dortmund.
I'll go for a draw.
Okay.
2-2 draw.
Could be. Absolutely could be. It's one of those that... it's one of those games where anything could happen. I wouldn't be surprised. A Chelsea win, a Dortmund win, or a draw. I could see any one of those three, which means I would not bet on this game.
You wouldn't bet on this game?
No, I wouldn't bet on this game.
Don't touch it, guys.
Don't touch it.
But if you're feeling lucky, again, just saying.
And you want to roll the dice.
If you want to roll the dice, go for a draw.
Go for a draw? Okay. I'm going for a Dortmund win.
You're going for a draw.
Last one. Club Brugge. Benfica.
Last year, Club Brugge did pretty well.
Club Brugge, they've been around in the Champions League now for the last couple seasons. This is the first time, though, I believe they made it out of the group stage, which is a hell of an accomplishment for them. You know, for a Belgian team to make the last 16, that's really impressive. So they can be proud of that already. They're playing Benfica. Benfica, they were actually doing very well this season, but they just sold Enzo Fernandez, of course. That could have some impact. I'm going to go for a Club Brugge victory in this one.
Okay.
I am.
Interesting.
I'm going for a Brugge victory. This is kind of a tough one to call because Club Brugge isn't a big club. You know, I don't really follow them too much. I've seen their highlights in the Champions League. I know in the group stage they did very well. So I'm going to go for a Brugge victory.
A Brugge victory.
Yep.
I'll say Benfica would slightly win by 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
2-1 Benfica.
Okay. There we go. So if we're looking at all those matches that we were just talking about, if I had to go for my 3-match teaser, my 3-team teaser,
3-team teaser.
which again, I don't feel very confident about this 3-team teaser, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's our signature.
Here we go. Yeah, it's our signature.
I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go in the Premier League, Man City.
Man City.
In the Champions League, Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich.
And Club Brugge.
Club. Oh.
That's my 3-team teaser.
This one's going to bring the odds a little higher, you know, Club. Okay.
I'm going Club Brugge, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City.
All right.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep. The other one, the Chelsea, like I said, Chelsea Dortmund, I don't feel good about that one. And even Spurs, AC Milan, I like a draw on that, but draws are tough to predict.
It is. Draws are pretty tough.
Are tough. So those are my 3 winners. So I'm going with Munich, Man City, Club Brugge.
There we go. Just place your bets,
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Place your bets.
What are you waiting for?
Here we go.
How about yourself? What are you thinking? And anything that you're gonna put some action on, or maybe it's best to just stay away from these games altogether.
I mean, if you want to roll the dice, hear me out. Arsenal against Man City, draw.
Okay.
I mean, if you really want to roll the dice,
Yep.
draw.
Yep.
Arsenal will score first. Arsenal will score first. This is what my just a little side betting if you want.
This
if
is
you
what
guys
you're
want
feeling.
to. This is what I'm feeling.
Yep.
A slightly feeling in my feelings, you know. I think that Arsenal will score first.
Okay.
And then Man City will then. Well, we're gonna step up the game.
Oh yeah, if Man City go behind in that game, they're gonna feel pressure. The problem is when Man City went behind to Spurs a couple weeks ago, 1-0, Spurs scored early in that game. Man City looked terrible after that.
They looked shut down.
Shut down. So if Arsenal can score first against Man City could be in deep shit. They could be in big trouble, man. Big trouble. Because they couldn't do it against Spurs when they fell behind 1-0. Against Arsenal, it would be even more difficult. All right, so that's it. You're going for Arsenal to score first, and the game to finish as a draw.
As a draw.
Not bad.
Split the point.
Split the points. Split the point.
Share points.
Yep, shared points. Well, let's see.
You know what? Actually, this could be our fortune trophy. Maybe if we hit bang on.
Yep.
If we hit bang on our 3-team teaser,
okay,
we should keep this on the table.
Oh, I like it. Okay, that's what we'll do.
We'll see. This could be our fortune trophy.
All right, if we hit this one, we're keeping it on the table.
We'll keep it on the table. Right.
Man, our picks from last weekend were really, really good. I'm still happy about those. This week, I think we're going to do good as well. And when we come back with a video later in the week and talk about the Premier League, we'll have even more predictions for that as well.
Yep, so just stay tuned, you guys.
That's it.
That's it. So, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Place those bets.
Place those bets.
Have a great Valentine's Day.
Yeah, very happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Don't forget, don't screw up your dates just to watch Champions League.
Don't screw up those dates, absolutely. Yeah, the dates are the most important thing.
It is, though. That's teacher's mark advice.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, so today, happy Valentine's Day. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Brilliant.
That was brilliant.